everyone. Today we start with the histamine. All of you know this histamine, which is amino autocoid, which is derived from the natural amino acid, and this most important role in the causation of the inflammation reaction and the other disorders. This histamine, which is a biogenic amine, and it occurs in the many tissue in almost all forms of the life. In nature, it is occurs in the inactive form, but it releases in a free active state in response to the injury or the antigen antibody reaction. And this chemical messenger that mediates a wide range of cellular responses, including allergic and inflammatory reaction, gastric acid secretion, and the neurotransmission in the parts of the brain. It plays an important role in gastric acid secretion in body's protective mechanism at the site of the injury, and as mediator in allergic and the anaphylactic conditions, and these are the major inflammatory mediators. Now next one is the location of the histamine. This histamine occurs in the practically in all the tissues, but in high amounts they are found in the lung, skin, and the gastrointestinal. This found at higher concentration in the mast cells or the basophils and occurs as a component of venoms and in secretion from the insect sting. Now next one is this histamine is amine formed by the decarboxylation of the amino acid histidine by the histidine decarboxylase. This histidine is synthesized from the amino acid, which is a synthesized histidine, and by the action of the histidine decarboxylase. Okay, it means the histidine get converted into the histamine in the presence of the histidine decarboxylase. Okay, in a man there are the 5 milligram of histamine which is formed the daily, and in brain this histamine has a distribution pattern to that of the serotonin, that is it occurs in the higher concentration in hypothalamus and lower concentration in the white matter and the cerebral cortex. Now next one is the release of the histamine. Okay, this release of histamine by the two process. First one is the energy and calcium dependent, second one is the energy and calcium independent. From this energy and calcium dependent, there are the two types, immunoglobulin E or the immunoglobulin release, and second one is the calcium and the energy independent, which is the chemical and the mechanical trauma and the drugs. Okay, first one is the immunological release. The mast cells sensitized by the IgE or the immunoglobulin E antibodies attached to their surface membrane degranulate explosively when exposed to the appropriate antigen, and this type of the release requires the energy. Degranulation leads to the simultaneous release of histamine, adenosine triphosphate, and other mediators that are stored together in the granules. This histamine release by this mechanism is a mediator in immediate or the type 1 allergic reaction such as the hay fever and the acute urticaria. Second one is the chemical and the mechanical release. The chemical and mechanical release, mast cell injury cause the degranulation, and histamine release. Drugs such as the morphine and the tuberculin can displace histamine from its bound form within the cells. This type of release does not require energy and it is not associated with mast cell injury or the degranulation. The loss of the granules from the mast cells also release the histamine. Now the next one is the storage of the histamine. The histamine in the body is stored through the electrostatic forces in the storage granules in at least three pools or the types of the storage site. Now the first one is the granules of the mast cells and the basophils. Second one is the mucosal cells of the gastrointestinal tract, and third one is the hypothalamus and the area of the postrema. Okay, this next one is the mechanism of action of the histamine. Now this mechanism of action of the histamine, in that the first one is the histamine 1 receptor. This histamine 1 receptor, which increases the calcium level, they cause the smooth muscle contraction, increase the capillary permeability, vasodilation, and the sensory nerve ending pain and the itching. In the H2 receptor, they increases the cyclic AMP and cause the increase the gastric acid secretion, blood vessel, in that the vasodilation, increase capillary permeability. Next one is the H3 receptor. They decreases the cyclic AMP and cause the decrease the histamine release, again decreases the secretion and vasodilation. Now next one is the metabolism of histamine. In that the metabolism of histamine, this histamine get converted into the free histamine, which is a 2 to 3%. Again, this histamine in the presence of the diamine oxidase get converted into the imidazole acetic acid and they form the 16 to 28%. Again, this histamine get converted into the 1-methyl histamine in presence of imidazole N-methyl transferase, and again this 1-methyl histamine get converted into the methyl histamine and the methyl imidazole acetic acid in the presence of the monoamino oxidase. And this methyl histamine forms the 4 to 8% and methyl imidazole acetic acid 42 to 47%. Now next one is the role in the allergy and the anaphylaxis. They cause the contraction of the smooth muscle, stimulation of secretion, dilation and increased permeability of the capillaries, stimulation of sensory nerve ending. Role in the mediators as a symptoms associated with the allergy and the anaphylactic shock result from the release of certain mediators from their storage site. Differences between these two situations result from differences in the site from which mediators are released and in their rate of release. These are the mediators of the allergy, inflammation, gastric acid secretion. Now next one is the adverse effect of the histamine release. They causes the itching, flushing, hypotension, tachycardia, bronchospasm, angioedema, wakefulness, increase the acidity or the gastric acid secretion. Now in that the next one is the allergic disorder. In that the first one is the initial exposure, second one is the re-exposure and next one is the release. Okay, first one is the initial exposure. In that the antigen or the drug, they bound to the body protein which is a carrier and they form the antibody formation. Second one is the re-exposure. In that the re-exposure, drug or the antigen plus antibodies, they form the antigen-antibody reaction. And third step is the release of the mediators. They releases the histamine. Histamine causes the flushing, itching, bronchoconstriction and the hypotension. Serotonin, which is a histamine-like effect. Heparin, which is incoagulability. Bradykinin, smooth muscle contraction, increase capillary permeability and the pain. And prostaglandin, responsible for the pain. Now next one is the histamine receptor. There are the 4 types of the histamine receptor. Okay, first one is the H1 receptor, H2 receptor, H3 receptor and the H4 receptor. This H1 receptor, which are found in the throughout the body, but especially in the smooth muscle on a vascular endothelial cells, in the heart and the central nervous system. And the effect are mediate and increase in muscular permeability at the site of inflammation which is induced by the histamine, and treatment for the allergies, nausea, sleep disorder. H2 receptor, which are found in the more specific location in the body, mainly is the gastric parietal cells. A low level can be found in vascular smooth muscle, neutrophils, central nervous system, heart and the uterus. And effect is to increase the release of the gastric acid and treatment for the stomach ulcer. Next one is the H3 receptor, found mostly in the central nervous system with a high level in the thalamus, caudate nucleus and the cortex, and also have a low level detected in small intestine, testes and the prostate. Effect on the neuronal presynaptic receptor may function to release the histamine and treatment is up to the unknown. Next one is the H4 receptor. They were recently discovered in the 2000. They are widely expressed in components of the immune system such as the spleen, thymus and the leukocytes. The effect is the unknown and treatment further in addition to benefiting allergic condition in research in the H4 receptor may lead to the treatment of autoimmune disorder which are the rheumatoid arthritis. Next one is the histamine H1 receptor blocker. These compounds do not influence the formation or release of the histamine. Rather, they block the receptor mediated response of a target tissue. And this H1 receptor blocker or the H1 receptor antagonist can be divided into the first generation drug and the second generation drug. The classification of the H1 antagonist or the H1 receptor blocker. Now the first generation is the chlorpheniramine, cyclizine, diphenhydramine, diphenhydrinate, doxypine, doxylamine, hydroxyzine, meclizine, promethazine. And these red color marking drugs which have the marketed potential for producing the sedation, and green color which indicates the use to treat the motion sickness. Okay, next one is the second generation drug. In that the orange color indicates the weak potential for producing sedation and blue color for the non-sedating. Okay, in that the example is the acrivastine, cetirizine, fexofenadine, loratadine. Now the first generation drug which are widely used, again they are the effective, inexpensive, penetrate the central nervous system, cause the sedation and produces the side effect. The therapeutic uses are for the allergic rhinitis, common cold, allergic dermatitis, itching, wasp sting or the bite, in that the pain and the itching decreases, allergic conjunctiva, motion sickness, example is the dimenhydrinate, promethazine, morning sickness, example is the promethazine, vertigo, cinerizine, appetite stimulant, cypropropadine. Next one is the pharmacokinetic, in that absorption is on the oral or the parenteral route, distributed throughout the body, enter the brain, which are the liver compound penetrates poorly, metabolized by the liver and excreted by the urine. Second generation drug, these are the specific for the H1 receptor, do not penetrate the blood-brain barrier, shows the less CNS toxicity than the first generation drug. Preparation and dosage, diphenhydramine dose is 25 to 50 mg orally, dimenhydrinate 25 to 50 mg orally, promethazine 25 to 50 mg oral or injection, chlorpheniramine 2 to 4 mg oral, pheniramine 25 to 50 mg oral or intramuscular, cinarizine 25 to 150 mg oral, cyproheptadine 4 mg oral. Next one is the histamine H2 receptor blocker or the histamine H2 receptor antagonist. They block the action of the histamine at all H2 receptors Chief clinical use is to inhibit the gastric acid secretion, effective against nocturnal acid secretion, competitive blocking the binding of histamine to H2 receptor, and this agent reduces the intracellular concentration of cyclic AMP and thereby secretion of the gastric acid. Drugs are the cimetidine, ranitidine, famotidine, and the nizatidine. Action: they act selectively on the H2 receptor in the stomach, blood vessel, and the other sites. No effect on the H1 receptor. They are the competitive antagonist of the histamine. They are fully reversible and completely inhibit the gastric acid secretion which is induced by the histamine or the gastrin. Therapeutic uses are the for the peptic ulcer, acute stress ulcer, gastroesophageal reflux diseases. Pharmacokinetics of cimetidine are they given orally, distributed widely throughout the body and excreted mainly in the urine. Ranitidine 5 to 10 fold more potent than they are the longer acting and have the minimal side effect. Famotidine, which is similar to the ranitidine, 20 to 50 times more potent than the cimetidine. Nizatidine, which is similar to the ranitidine in its pharmacological action and the potency. Adverse effects are they reduces the gastric acid production, cause the headache, dizziness, diarrhea, and the muscular pain. Next one is the histamine H3 receptor blocker or the histamine H3 receptor antagonist. These are the selective ligand, may be of value in the sleep disorder, obesity, cognitive and the psychiatric disorder. Tiprolisant, an inverse H3 receptor agonist, has been shown to reduce sleep cycles in the mutant mice and in human with the narcolepsy, which is not a clinically important, and other drugs are the thiopyramide, clobin, propide. Next one is the histamine H4 receptor blocker. Chronic inflammatory conditions such as the asthma, no selective H4 ligand is available for use in the human. Not yet clinically important, and the drugs are the thiopyramide. Now next one is the antihistamines. They have been divided into the three categories. Okay, in that the first one is the preventing or reducing the histamine release. Example is the glucocorticoid. Second one is the receptor antagonism. Example is the antihistamine. And third one by using the physiological antagonist which oppose the action of the histamine. Example is the adrenaline. All these antihistamines are competitive antagonists at the histamine receptor and divided into the two groups, H1 receptor antagonist and H2 receptor antagonist. Up to that, we have covered the histamine.